Hello, everybody, and welcome to another exciting episode of Dicing with Death. It's been a while. It's been like 3 weeks or something. What can I say? I have my duty calls. No. Let's and how about you? Anything new? Anything to announce? Well, where do we leave off? He said. I unmuted myself intentionally. No, you're not. What? You're unmuted. You were trying to go through the speakers.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, now they can hear you. Sorry about that, guys.
Neil is listening to me give a private monologue.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay. Thrown off my flow. So as I said, I wasn't going to do much of a recap. Watch the VODs on YouTube or Twitch if you want to know what happened last session. We're just going to pick up with our hero, Qualneer the Cunning, on the run from the law. At the end of last session, you broke out of jail and have fled through the night, and that is where we will pick up. So you are on this road heading north of Cornbrook, was the name of the town.
Right.
Middle of the night.
Yeah.
And I was under the impression that you were traveling all night.
I'm going to put as much distance between myself and that town as possible this night.
Great. And we leveled you up to level 3 at the end of last session.
I have 10 HP now.
10 HP. Some of you want... Yeah. Can make our duels a little more exciting.
Should we just round it out to an even 3,000? Because I have 2,997 experience written down.
You're doing... Wait. No, that's right.
No, because it should be...
You need 2,500 to level up to level 3.
Okay, yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
Okay. There.
Okay.
I'm getting... Okay. Production value for the win. Okay. So, picking up. You break out of jail, leave your hat behind in a little lockbox for the town to find. Or I guess not a lockbox anymore, in a chest.
Yeah.
You flee north of town. You travel through the night. It's a relatively clear night. Stars in the sky. Do you wish to do anything or just travel until something happens?
I'd like to travel until I get fatigued, or until I come across another town or something that looks dangerous. Like
you're tired. You had a rough day the day before, but you're able to travel all night if you wish. All right, so you travel along the road. Don't see much of anything, actually. Just outside of town, there were a few farmhouses, but forward on past those, after a while, it just breaks way into rolling hills and moors, and you travel through the night.
All right.
Day breaks the following morning. A little creak of sun in the eastern sky. Off to your right, the road is traveling roughly north. At about this time, you hear the crack of thunder off to the west.
I look.
See some ominous-looking storm clouds forming off the coast of the ocean.
Do not like the looks of this.
So day breaks. You are still traveling. No sign of town in either direction. No sign of civilization.
Okay. I'm going to push myself until I just get tired enough that I have to rest.
Yeah. It shouldn't be an issue. You can keep traveling. What is your character's constitution and those sort of things?
My con is 8. My strength is 15. My dex is 17. Intel 12. Willpower 4. Alright, so maybe I rested a little bit earlier. Charisma 10. Perception 9.
Willpower 4. I feel like that didn't come into play enough last time.
16 hotness.
Yep. Um, okay, I'll let you play this out however you will. I mean, I'm not. Although your con isn't great, I'm not going to force you to rest. But you haven't slept in like 36 hours or something.
No. Okay.
I'm going to keep forging ahead.
I'll keep pushing ahead. If the sun sets, I will absolutely go to sleep.
Sets. No, it's just rising.
I don't know. I'll keep pushing throughout the day to the point where the sun starts to go down, and when it looks like it's going to be like an hour before sunset, I'll start looking for a place to stay.
Yeah. Okay. I will remind you, because it's been a while, that you had that mysterious lockbox in your backpack.
Right.
You had mentioned you were planning on trying to open it again, and we sort of left on a cliffhanger last time. So I'll just remind you that that's there in case you want to deal with it
during
now.
my lunch break or at any point where I sit down to chill out for a while because I can't just walk all day, I will make an attempt at opening it.
Yes, you can go ahead and do that. Have you upped your skill at all, or have you?
I can't. Is it intent? Yeah. Okay. So the map is black because you have it hidden from me.
Yeah, there's nothing really to
Cool.
show there.
I don't know. Did I update my skills?
I'm assuming you.
I think I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Open lock 60. It was a nice lock, so it's minus 30, I believe.
Minus 30.
Yeah, I gave it.
All right. Well, let's
Iron lockbox.
D100 minus 30.
Big.
32.
I think you just missed it.
What? My open locks is 60.
Oh, okay. You included the minus 30. Okay.
Yeah.
You managed to slide your picks in, and you hear that satisfying click. You hear the lock open. You are not stabbed with a poison dart or anything.
I probably should have done find remove traps first. Whatever.
Okay. It is unlocked.
I open the box.
Okay. The inside is lined with red velvet to sort of keep the contents from shaking around.
Mm-hmm.
So there's not a lot of space. And inside you see a folded piece of paper, 2 small strips of leather, and it looks like a bluish ring of glass. Not a like a yeah.
Like a ring that would go on your
finger?
finger?
Like a disc.
A
No,
disc.
a disc.
Okay. A disc hollowed out in the center, or just a flat disc?
Okay, that's what you're going to take a look at first. It is lined with, so it's got like a brass ring with a sort of bluish tinted glass lens in the middle. And there's like a little ring set if you want to like attach it to a chain. You're guessing maybe a monocle, but you're not really sure why it's blue glass.
Interesting. Okay. I'll hold it up to my eye and look at the world through it.
Nothing particularly unusual. I mean, you see through a blue tinted piece of glass.
All right.
It's not even like it doesn't even look like it's a lens or anything like that. Like it's just perfectly flat. So it's not distorting your vision really. It's just making it kind of hazy and blue.
I toss it back in the box. You said there were 2 strips of leather in there as well?
Yes.
And
so there
was there anything else?
And then folded note.
The fold note. All right. I'll look at the leather next.
Okay. They are maybe like 1 inch by 2 inches, little strips of soft leather, and marked onto one side of each of them is a reddish brown symbol. Let me go to roll 20. Just got a crude little sketch of what it looks like. So that is painted on in sort of like a brownish red that you have a stinking suspicion might be blood.
It's like a person.
So there are 2 strips like that. It's sort of just like crudely painted on or something of the sort.
All right. I will toss the strips of leather aside.
You toss them on the ground?
Yeah. Take them out of the box, just toss them on the ground.
Would you... Okay.
Huh?
And then that leaves the note.
I will unfold and attempt to read the note.
Yeah, it is written in common. Should I copy paste into Skype or send you a document or something? What do you think?
Can you just read it aloud, or is it too long to read aloud?
I'm gonna go ahead and let you read it aloud if you'd like to do that.
Okay.
Did that go through? Yeah, that's fine. I gave it a sexy font and word though. Sent you the document.
Should have sent me the document. Okay.
So you can either, I don't know how you want to post that for
I'm just going to read it aloud.
Okay.
Where'd it go?
I didn't want to read it aloud for fear of giving away pronunciations or
Oh,
things
okay.
like that.
Captain Harrison Worthan, Wayward Gull. We hope you have not forgotten your debt, Captain. You still owe 3 casters. I hope you do not. I hope I do not need to remind you what will happen if you fail to follow through. Enclosed, you will find 2 favors that should keep you. This should keep you afloat. Sturge, Grand Pursuivant to the Red Drake.
Red Duke.
Duke,
Correct.
Drake, whatever. That you didn't want to tell me how to pronounce it.
I didn't want to mislead chat because they can't actually read it.
All right, so I go back and find the pieces of leather I threw aside and put them back in the box.
Okay.
I close the box again, lock it, and put it back in my backpack.
Um,
And then undo all of that.
So you
and
actually
take out the blue glass. Oh,
okay. So I think let's just make this policy. You will. I'm going to make you have to repick every lock every day. Even if you solve a lock, it's not like something you can do automatically every time from now on.
okay. So if
I'll
I
give you
pick
a
a lock and
bonus.
succeed, I can then pick a lock and fail it.
Yes.
If
will
I
give you
fail
a
it, does that mean I
bonus.
cannot unlock it again until I level up?
Yeah. That's that. Yeah. That's
Okay,
what
so
I'm gonna
because
do.
normally
I'll
if you
give you.
can't pick a
Let's give you a bonus. Say of I don't know what. 20% is up to a lock you've already solved. Maybe cumulative for each time you
okay.
something like that. We can argue about it if it comes up.
Okay. Well, I guess I have to make that
So
roll
you
again.
can leave it disabled, or you can pick it closed. Does that make sense?
You can pick it
Like
closed.
you can shut it and leave it unlocked, or you can relock it. But
Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
every
I
time
just
you
want-
unlock it, you still. I mean, it's like you still have to like get the pins all aligned or whatever and turn it. So it still it's still a challenge, even if you've already done it on the same lock before.
Okay. Then I guess I will just leave this box. I'll leave the lock in the box and shut the box and put the box in the
It's not a
backpack.
lock; it's built in.
Okay, well
So
then
you can close it,
I'll
or
just
you
close it
can
then.
you can. Okay, so it's unlocked. You would have
Yeah.
to repick it to close it, like use your tools to close to lock it again.
Okay.
You take the little glass lens.
I take the
and-
lens out. I'm gonna hold that in a pocket and leave the box in the back. And
Okay.
keep walking down the street, down the road.
Alrighty. So maybe an hour or so later, you see a farmhouse come into view.
Okay. I will. How much gold do I have on me?
A fair bit. I think you sold a pearl, so you should be.
Oh yeah. I would like to head towards the farmhouse. What time of day is it? Is it before noon?
Yeah. It's still early morning.
Well,
You're not. The sun rose like an hour or two ago.
I'll make a beeline for the farmhouse, and I'll keep an eye on the fields to see if I can find the farmer.
Yeah, in the distance, you see a farmer working, and then and then even beyond this, you can see another farmhouse down the road.
Okay. I would like to. I'm going to actually walk towards the farmer in the fields, or wave to him and call out like "Hello," if he's within earshot.
All right. He's hoeing the fields or whatever farmers do. He looks up from his work and waves, and sets his tool down and starts walking towards you.
Okay, I walk towards him as well.
Okay.
And when I get to him, I say, "Hello, sir. I'm a simple traveler here. Please tell me this is all in fine accent. No elven accent this time."
He says,
I've been-
traveler, we don't get many of your kind through here.
Yes, it's been quite a long ways.
He sort of pauses for a minute and starts to inspect you. Looks down at you. He's a few inches taller, and he seems to take special note of your ears and your.
I do my best
your
to ignore the
hair.
blatant racism. I've been
He
traveling.
doesn't say anything. He's just obviously intrigued.
I've been traveling quite a long ways. Is there perhaps an inn or tavern nearby?
Yes. If you walk down the road, maybe another hour. He Hour. You look down at your legs. uh, you'll reach. You'll get into town.
Thank you, thank you. I give him a smile and a wave, and I head back onto the road.
He's on his hips. He keeps his eyes on you as you walk away. Not
Yeah,
necessarily suspicious, just curious.
yeah, okay.
You don't strike that imposing of a figure, am I correct? Like your daggers are pretty well stashed.
Yeah,
You do have a suit of boiled leather or whatever, but that's not
right.
terribly conspicuous.
Um, Good looking, well dressed. I guess I no longer have a feather in my cap. I've gotten rid of my feathered cap. Yeah, so I'm a fairly good looking, well dressed guy just walking down the streets.
Yep. Pointy ears and silver hair is the only
Silver hair. Do I have silver hair? I do have
yeah.
silver hair, don't I?
Fancy braid.
Yeah, silver hair and a fancy braid. Okay.
Did you take any damage? You did.
Uh-huh.
So you are slightly bloodied.
Mhm.
I think you took more than 2, but you leveled up and it. Oh no, it would have scaled. Okay, yeah. So you took 2.
My wounds say 2.
Okay.
Okay. I walk down the street until I get into town.
Okay. Yeah. So you walk for another hour or so. Gradually, see more and more farmhouses, and it's not like you necessarily walk into town. It's like all of a sudden you're like, okay, there's a few more buildings around me than there were 2 minutes ago. This must be what he meant by town.
Right.
And so it's basically just a collection of a half dozen buildings that are all close together
Yeah.
around a water fountain.
All right.
You see
Go ahead.
clearly the inn with the symbol of like a horse eating some hay on the side.
I
No
approach
words.
the inn, the
Okay.
the stabled inn.
Yeah, there's stables off to the side, and
Yeah.
you step inside in a small tap room.
Okay.
It is by now getting close to noon. There are a few farmers in having their lunch.
Okay.
They all turn to look at you as you walk in, but no big
I
deal.
give him a broad smile and approach the innkeeper, bartender, whoever it looks to be on official duty.
Yeah, the bartender says, "Well met, traveler. You look weary.
Greetings, sir.
Get you some lunch."
I would love a lunch, perhaps a double lunch, if that's possible.
Double lunch.
Double lunch. I've
Little
not
man
eaten
with
in
a big
some time.
appetite.
Yes, yes. And perhaps your very nicest room as well.
All of our rooms are very fine, if I do say so myself. And
Excellent.
anything to drink as he's walking back towards the kitchen.
Wine. Wine.
All right. So he fetches you some wine and then goes back into the kitchen to order your meal.
Mhm.
Anything. So, like I said, there's 3 farmers in here.
Okay.
2 having lunch together, 1 by himself, just eating.
I
They
will go sit down next to the solo man, the guy by himself.
Okay. He was sort of staring at you. Everyone was sort of staring at you and
Right.
like looking away as soon as you caught them. He's a little taken aback that you come and sit next to him, but he nods.
Greetings, sir. How goes it?
Good, good.
Could you perhaps tell me a little bit about this township you have here? Do you have a landed knight that runs the town? That oversees the town?
No, not really of our own. We're sort of under the jurisdiction of Ashenholt to the north.
Yeah, I've heard of this place before.
I did say Ashenholt, right?
Yes.
Wasn't okay. I couldn't quite remember.
How far is Ashenholt?
Another day's journey to the north.
Okay. Hmm.
Where are you coming from? There's not much to the south. He seemed like cocks his head.
I'm not entirely sure. Coming from
Actually,
the sea.
he wouldn't have known you were from the south, would he? Oh, yeah, I guess he would have inferred because you asked about Ashenholt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways. Coming from the sea.
I come from the sea. I washed up on shore a few days ago, and actually don't know how I got here.
Washed up on shore. You a sailor?
I don't know. I'm not.
Interesting.
I know. It's It's kind of weird. Tell me, are there any witches about in these parts?
Witches. It's
Uh,
actually funny that you should ask. I wouldn't use the word witch, but we have a local magician of sorts, a tinker who lives in this town, but he went missing just a day or two ago.
what was his name?
Um, uh, Gregum,
Griggum?
Gregum, Gregum the magician.
I have a
He
feeling this isn't the first time you've used that name before.
Gregum.
Yeah.
I feel like that's not even a name. he he mostly deals in odd wares and makes our poultices, sharpens our knives. But he's been known to dabble in some magic. We're willing to look past it for
Okay.
the few services he provides.
Well,
But like I said, no one's seen or heard from him in at least 2 days.
that's interesting. I was hoping that there would have been some witch that could potentially have been the one to have brought me to this state. But I assume this man is no sorcerer capable of transporting me to the beach and wiping my memory.
No, maybe some fireworks for the kids or
Yeah.
this and that. But
You say he's gone missing? I would love to
yeah,
speak with him.
his shop's just across the way. I'm
Is it possible he left town?
actually sorry, his shop's just outside of town.
Okay.
Possible, but not likely. I mean, he's got a home here.
And he wouldn't have left to Ashenholt or something without saying anything.
Possible. It's possible.
Well, I asked for directions to his place so that I can go check it out later.
He says, yeah, there. If you head east of the fountain, you'll see a small path that leads up to his house along on the hill.
Okay, thank you. And I'll sit and make a small chat with him while I eat, and I'll buy him a drink or two.
All right. So let's see. If there's nothing else you wish to take care of, that will be. Say 5 copper for the room, 2 copper for the wine, 2 copper for the food, 1 copper for the one silver in all, 10 copper in all, including the drink you bought for the guy.
These people are poor.
You're getting that impression.
5 copper for a room?
What's it say in the player's handbook? I think that's pretty standard, I think, for a cheap ass room.
Really? Okay.
You're second guessing. You're gonna get yourself a higher price, Neil.
Mm.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's what he costs.
All right. Cool.
That's yeah. It actually said for a pour in for a day, the standard price is 5 copper actually.
Okay. So yeah, but it is a poor room then.
And I think that's in lodging. Yeah.
That's like, the bed is like a stack of hay or something like that. Is that bad, or is there an actual?
You go take a look as soon as you're done with your yeah, it looks like a stuffed. No, I mean it's not a stack of hay. It's like a stuffed feather mattress and.
Oh, it's actually a feather bed.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
Lay on it. It's a little prickly, but
Whatever. It's nicer than sleeping on the
it's
ground.
pretty meek. There's no furniture really. There's a
perfect.
chair and the bed.
All
Small window that overlooks the cornfields.
right. I'm gonna take a quick power nap, like sleep for 4 hours if I can, 3 hours,
Yeah.
and then wake up and go find this guy.
Okay.
Go find Greg.
Yeah. You wake up several hours later. There's still some light coming in, so you assume you haven't slept through the day.
Okay, hold on just 1 sec.
Hi, chat. What are you guys doing? Oh, Neil returns quickly.
Sorry, my phone was going off. I had to go mute it.
Fair enough.
Okay. So I, sleep a few hours, and then I'm gonna go to Gregham's place and go see what's up.
Okay. All right. You head downstairs out
Hmm.
of the inn. You do notice that that storm has grown and is like pelting the coast
Okay.
back where you came from.
Does it look like it's moving inland?
Um, it doesn't look like it's moving particularly fast,
Hmm.
but it does look like it's extended inland. You're guessing Cornwall, maybe getting some rain, some thunder,
Okay. Okay.
but out at sea it looks pretty
All right.
ominous.
Well, I'll kind of double time it over to Gregham's place,
Okay.
and when I get there, I'll just give a big hearty knock on the front door.
Um, yeah. So you knock and you hear no answer. It is so you follow the trail maybe 5 minutes outside of town up a small hill, and there's just a little bungalow on top of the hill. Looks like maybe a one room little shack,
Okay.
one door, a couple of windows. All right, and you knock,
All right. Yeah, I
and you get
knock.
no
No
response.
response. I'll walk around the perimeter of the building, see if there's another entrance or any windows.
There are some windows. They're like just like wooden slats that or wooden panels that close in front.
Okay. Well, I'll walk all the way around first, make sure there's no door.
Nope. Actually, no, there's no back door.
Okay. How? You said this is.
Actually, sorry, there's a door on the back.
Yeah, I'll knock on the back door as well and shout, "Gregum,
Nope.
hello."
No answer.
Okay. This building is away from all the other buildings. You said, right? It's down the road and up a hill.
Yep.
Okay. I will try opening the back door.
Okay. There is a lock on it.
I will attempt to pick the lock.
Okay.
All right. 60% open locks.
Yep. A bonus
D100
difficulty.
plus no D100. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. 15.
All right. You hear a satisfying click as the lock opens.
All right. I put my tools away and push the door open the rest of the way and say, "Hello? Is anyone here?" And
No
walk in.
response. You find yourself inside a small bedroom. There is a mattress, a little bedstand, some candles, books strewn about,
Okay.
and then sort of just like a divider to the rest of the house, with just like a gap. So like one of those paper screens.
Okay.
It's not
Yeah.
paper, like
Yeah. I know what you mean.
cloth screens.
Okay. I push through it and keep poking my head around. I sniff
Okay.
the air.
The
Does it
front,
smell particularly bad or?
it doesn't smell bad. It smells kind of like musty and
Okay.
sweet,
But
like a
not
mix
like
of strange herbs and
not like there's a dead
spices, that
person
sort of thing.
rotting in the next room.
No, it doesn't smell like there's a dead person running in the next room.
Okay.
The front looks more like sort of an odd combination between a storefront and a spice warehouse. There's various plants and herbs and papers strewn about. As you're looking more closely, it does look a little. I mean, at first you were thinking, okay, maybe this just guy's kind of messy, but you're looking, you're like, no, that bottle is broken, that chair's knocked over. It looked like there may have been some sort of scuffle,
Hmm.
so it's kind of messy and things are strewn about.
Okay. I want to. I don't have tracking. Um. I go check out the front door. Is it unlocked?
Um, no, the front door's locked.
Front door's locked.
Both the doors were locked.
Interesting. So there seems to be a scuffle, but the doors are locked, which means that Gregum was not dragged away, unless he was dragged away and they found his key and locked the door on the way out. Um, is it? Does it look like there was a large struggle, like lots of things are broken, or just one or two things and everything's a little disheveled?
It's hard to say. Most of like the bottles and stuff were in shelves on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Like chairs and stuff are knocked over. There's scrolls and stuff strewn about. So there are a few things knocked off the shelves. So at some point, things smashed into the walls and shook the shelves.
Interesting. I'm gonna go start looking up the scrolls and papers lying about. Excuse me.
Anything in particular you're wanting
Um,
to look for?
I want to be looking for anything that looks like a list of goods or services, or any sort of letters communicating with people. If it's like a diary entry or diary entry.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so diary, a list of goods or services, or letters
Yeah.
between
So
people.
in the front room, you find. I mean, it's sort of a mix. A lot of them are like legal documents, like wills and whatnot that you assume belong to the members of this town. So it's like, I leave all of my sheeps to my brother.
Right, right, right.
Um, and it looks like he's sort of notarizing those documents and that sort of thing.
Okay.
There are some rather mundane correspondences relating to like purchases of like kind of books and various herbs and alchemical reagents, glassware, anything in particular. You were asking for like a list of.
Yeah, if there's some sort of like
I mean, you can find.
if there's a ledger that you know lists all the goods that he has in his off.
There's not.
There's no inventory thing.
Uh, you find. I mean, there's not one unified. You can find. I mean, you do find lists of. Yeah, I mean of inventories, but it's not like there. It's like several separate lists,
Okay.
almost like maybe shopping lists.
I'd
Doesn't
like
look
to
particularly organized.
scan
There
the
are
lists.
books and there are like recipes with lists of ingredients on them.
No. I'd like to scan the inventory lists to see if there's anything that pops out to me. Any healing potions or poultices, any magical items,
Yeah,
anything
like
strangely unique.
roll. Um, let's go with intelligence to see if you like recognize anything that sounds useful to you.
Okay. D20 plus 12. Ooh, almost.
20.
Yeah, 21 would be minimum to pass.
Yeah. You can roll two more.
Oh, God. 20,
Okay.
20, 26.
All right. What did you say you were looking for specifically? Yeah,
Healing potions, healing poultices, or magic items. If there's
Okay.
something else like anything that would stand out as bizarre. I get poisons. Do let me know if there's poisons as well, I guess.
You do find mention of healing poultices, and after some rummaging, you find them reasonably well labeled in the beneath the counter.
Excellent. How many? And
You
how much
find
do they
two of
weigh?
those pre-mixed. You also find the recipe that he uses for them, but you're pretty sure you probably wouldn't.
That's fine. How much do they weigh?
Um, let's say between the two of them is a pound. So they're just like little glass jars of paste. Ugly greenish paste, sticks and stuff in it.
Okay.
That's all you find for now. You can continue. I mean, you can. Yeah. I mean, so you've been sort of searching around for about an hour.
Okay. Is there a second story to this place?
There is not.
Okay. I'll leave out through the back door, leave it unlocked, and start walking back into town.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll a perception check for me.
9. Ew.
Okay. Yeah. Lag. Okay. All right. So you leave out through the back door.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you leave the door locked?
I shut the door, but I leave it unlocked. I'm not going to re-pick it to lock it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And then you walk back to town.
Yeah. I do.
Okay. All right.
I guess I go back to the inn. And I go up to the bard keeper
Hmm.
and I say, "Ho there, sir. Tell me, I went to go see this Gregum person, but he seems to not be at home. One of the local townsmen that was in here earlier said that he has gone missing. Do you know anything of this?"
Yeah, yeah. No one has seen or heard from Gregum in a couple of days now. Starting to get a little worried. There has been talk of setting up a search party.
Did he have much business outside of town?
Hmm, he was a. He's mostly kept to himself. Sort of a homebody type. He did have suppliers and whatnot in, um, yeah, in the nearby towns, but
But he didn't have
didn't do a lot of traveling.
no
No.
no excessive traveling, no business partners that would come in from out of town or anything.
Not typically. No.
Hmm. You say he went missing 2 or 3 days ago? 1 or 2 days
Sounds about
ago?
right.
Hmm. Interesting. I'd very much like to meet the man. Hmm. Well, I went by his house and I could peer in through the slats of the windows. It kind of looked like there were some things strewn about and some things knocked over in his house, but the doors were locked. Well, the front door
Hmm.
was locked. Um,
You think he was kidnapped?
I don't know. It didn't look like that big of a. Was he a strong man or a weak man?
He was a scholar through and through.
Well, then possibly. You
Hmm.
don't know who, if anyone would have any mind to capture him. He hasn't been charged with witchcraft or yeah, corrupting the youth, has he?
No, no. These are a superstitious lot, but there's there's not much stigma to a little harmless magic now and again. He sort of gives you a wink.
Hmm. Hmm.
If you do think something's amiss, perhaps you should speak with Garrett, the guard across the street.
Oh, you guys have local guard.
Mm, could say so.
Is it just Garrett?
Yes, yes.
Uh, what what is his proper title, so I may address him without looking a fool?
He's
Sheriff,
constable.
constable, sheriff, constable. Okay.
Sure. Around
Well,
here, we pretty much just use first names.
all right. Well, thank you. I'll go speak with him now, and I am skipping you on my way out and go talk with this constable, Gregor
All
and
right.
Garrett.
All right. It's not a particularly well labeled, but you assume it's, yeah, you are able to assume the building.
Okay.
Wander across the street. And you see a rotund man in boiled leather, sort of leaning back in a rocking chair
All right.
just inside,
I say, excuse me.
escaping the heat of the day.
Are you Constable Garrett?
Yep, that'd be me. Sort of
Hey.
pats his belly and stands up. He's got um, a cudgel at his side,
Okay.
as well as a small knife.
I'm just a traveler through town. Some people mentioned to me that you have this Gareth man. It was a bit of a spellcaster, bit of a scholar nearby.
Garrett. Gregum?
Gregum, there we go.
Gregum?
Yeah, I went to go
Yeah,
see
yeah.
him, but he wasn't home, and through the cracks in his window, it looked like there had been a struggle inside. Do you know anything about this guy or where he's been?
Yeah, I have heard that he's been missing for a few days. Struggle, you say? Well, perhaps I better have a look.
Yeah. Mind if I tag along?
What'd you say your name was?
My name is Qualneer.
Qualneer. Well, it's good to meet you. I could use those keen, pointy ears of yours.
I frown.
And he sort of waddles out the front door.
Okay.
and up the hill towards Garrett's place.
All right. I go with him.
All right, you follow him. He walks a little slower than you'd like, but you get up to the to Gregham's house all the same. He sort of knocks, shouts around, and then eventually circles to the back door. Finds it unlocked.
I should have relocked that. Damn it.
Hmm, unlocked. He said, and he sort of takes a step inside, shouting Gregham's name, and he proceeds to sort of search around inside. He finds the signs of the struggle, as well as the rearranging that you yourself did.
Yeah.
He seems a little perturbed by this.
He had no known enemies.
No. He's a kind-hearted old man.
I look about
Oh,
are his
this is concerning. Perhaps we should get a search party together.
perhaps. I'm gonna go poke around in the bedroom if that's okay. There, go find the bedroom.
Okay. The
Um,
bedroom is the back room. Is what you're walking first. I mean,
Right.
it's all sort of one room.
I want to
The back-
look around on the ground. Are there a pair of boots near the bed, or
You
perhaps
know, there are.
a pair of boots near the bed?
Mhm.
I look at them. What do they look like? Well worn, new.
They're well worn, but still intact. And
Is their positioning near the bed something that would make me think they were, you take them off at night, you put them on in the morning, sort of thing, or like, are they like stashed under the bed like a spare pair of boots?
no, they're set side by side at the base of the bed.
I look around for a backpack.
You don't find an. I mean, there are several sacks and
Okay, but no like.
no obvious backpack.
Okay. What else would a person keep on them at all times? Um, Boots are pretty much it. I guess I poke around in any nightstands or any drawers that might be around.
There's, sure. Most of those are in the front room. There's a nightstand in the back, but no drawers.
Oh.
There's a couple of books stacked on it and candles, but
Okay, do the books have interesting titles that would be interesting to me?
no, no. One is like a collection of local folklore,
Yeah.
herbology. One of them does look to be. Roll an intel check for me.
Nope. Nope. Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
It's all right. It's in a language you don't understand. Do you have comprehend languages?
The spell?
No, the thief skill.
Oh, read
Or
languages.
Read languages.
I have it at 0%.
Okay. Nope. All right.
Okay.
Language you don't understand.
Okay.
All right. Garrett comes back into the bedroom and says, "Well, I guess we better look for the old fella."
Was he an older man?
Yeah.
Okay.
Graying, stooped.
How can I help with the search?
We could use your keen elven eyesight in the search party.
Half elven, I say.
Either way, I hear you fellas are pretty useful in the woods.
Yeah. We'll do what we can, but looks like a storm's coming.
Yeah, I did see that. It appears to be sitting off the coast, though. We'll see. We'll see. All right. And so he waddles back down the hill. And do you follow, or?
Yeah, I follow with him.
And he heads to the tavern and asks if any of the local farmers would be willing to help in the search. And he gets about 2 volunteers, one of which says he's going to go get his dog.
Okay.
And yeah, anything you wish to do, or
I ask if there's any hunters in the town, any huntsmen.
No, we're mostly farmers.
No huntsman, no ranger type, no one that could follow a trail.
Unfortunately, no. No permanent residents.
Damn it! I really wish I had tracking now.
Can rogues even get that?
No, I have to
Is it a
spend 3
fighter
slots
skill?
for it. Yeah, it's a fighter skill, and unless you're a ranger, it starts at -9.
-9?
Not -9 from whatever your stat is.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah, yeah. Rangers are the only good trackers in the game.
Interesting. Okay. So he gathers this party of 4, and you all convene at Gregum's house.
Okay.
The storm is continuing to sort of sit off the coast to the south, but doesn't look like it's moving inwards. But you can occasionally hear the clack of thunder or see a bolt of lightning.
Okay. I want to look around in the nearby grass and bushes and trees or whatever. See if there's any obvious sign of like people moving through.
Okay, roll a perception check for me. So they're sort of discussing how the best way to approach this is. Gareth is like, I think we should all fan out. And
28 on my
no, we
perception
should stick
check.
together. Okay. Yeah, so maybe about 20 feet from the house, you do see some trampled grass. Looks like something was moving through.
Okay. Without saying a word to anyone else, I'm just going to start following it.
Okay. Do you make any particular effort to sneak off, or do you just follow it?
I just follow it.
Okay. All right. You follow it for a ways. Occasionally, you'll see a large footstep or a footprint. Roll me another perception check.
You 11.
No. All right. Yeah. Large footprints in the soft dirt. You are still able to follow the path for a little ways. Yeah,
I want
so
to
you're-
stop and examine one of these large footprints. I want to put like my foot in it. Does it look like a lot bigger than mine? Smaller than mine? About the same size as mine?
It looks bigger than yours.
Okay. I also want to feel the dirt around it. Is it wet? Is it dry? Is it?
It's soft. It's not like recently rained, but it's moist.
I poke the ground. Does my finger leave an impression?
Yeah. Yep. Sort of muddy grass.
I guess this could be within the last day, or last 2 days. All right. Well, I'll keep following.
Okay. Okay. So you're following this trail for about 5 minutes. You lose it and pick it up again in places, but it seems to be heading roughly northeast away from town, away from Gregum's house.
Okay.
There are a few trees scattered here and there, but it's by no means a forest.
Okay.
Do you wish to keep following?
I want to keep following until I get a mile away, or until something interesting happens.
Okay. So you're approaching about a mile or so when you sort of round a hill and see a stone cave in the side of the hill. Seems like this is where the trail was leading.
Muy interesante. I'm going to leave the trail, and I want to go around to if the hill is here and I'm coming from over here, rather than like walking towards the cave, I want to go like up and around, and so I can approach the cave from behind and like climb on top of the hill. That is the entrance to the cave. If that makes sense. Like, I do not want to approach the cave front on. So if someone's in the cave looking out, I would like to be outside of the vision of the cave.
All right, so let's say that's the hill. I mean, obviously it like slopes up or whatever. But...
Right.
Are you taking it? All right, see ya. And then there's sort of like a stony entrance here, an entrance to the cave.
Yeah.
North is up. Town is sort of back that way.
Okay. Then I would like to.
And so you're approaching from that direction.
Oh, okay. So I'm actually already kind of out of vision of the cave.
Yeah. So you sort of you sort of rounded the hill here.
Okay. Well,
the trail and
then
see the
I'll
cave.
head this way or something. Just
Climb up
enough to stay on the side.
You climb up the.
I want to climb up the hill and actually get onto my belly and crawl out over the entrance to the cave.
Okay. All right. So you are atop the cave.
I want to, if I think I can do this, I want to sort of like lean over or crawl over to the point where my head is hanging down and I can look in the cave, if that's possible.
Sure. Yeah, you're able to do that.
Okay. What's it look like inside?
It's just a dark stone passageway into the hill, stone and dirt. You see no light coming from within, and can't really. Well, you're elven, aren't you?
I'm half elf. That's 60
You're a
feet.
full elf, aren't you?
Am I a full elf? I thought I was a half elf.
Yeah, you're a full elf.
Whoops. Okay, I'm a full elf. I think I lied to that man.
You did lie to that man. Qualneer the not so cunning.
Qualneer the forgetful. Yeah. Okay. I peer in then.
Right. Yeah. So you can see like a small path that goes in 15 feet, and then it opens up into a chamber.
I can't tell what's in the
make
chamber.
out any details, but nope.
Yeah. I have tumbling, so I will just flip off of the front of the cave and land on my feet below.
Do you need to roll proficiency checks? Do
If
things
you
like
want
that?
me to, I will do it.
No, I'm just curious how tumbling works. For now, I'll let you flip and land on your feet or whatever.
All right, I just tumble forward and land on my feet. And I grab 3 darts in my hand, and I walk in. When the DM looks at his notes.
No, I was reading about tumbling, actually.
Oh, okay.
All manner of acrobatics, dives, rolls, somersaults, blah, 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 blah. You can improve your armor class by 4 against attack directed. Okay, if you forgo attacks, you can improve your AC, and you can reduce damage from falls. You actually would have to roll a proficiency. I don't really care. If you fall from 10 feet or less, a successful proficiency check reduces the damage to 0. 1/2 damage from 60 feet or less. If you pass proficiency check, which I think is probably just like, don't roll a 1 or 2.
I rolled a 1.
Really?
I rolled a 1.
I said it wasn't going to make you roll a proficiency check.
I still rolled a 1.
Normally you don't take any damage if it's less than 10 feet, right?
Yeah. Oh, okay, cool. Is this less than 10 feet?
Yeah. It was like 8 or 9.
Cool.
So you were just on the brink of taking damage. If any, you sort of... Okay, I wasn't going to make you roll a proficiency check, but since you demanded to, you had a less than graceful tumble. You stand up, a little embarrassed, brush yourself off, look around to make sure that no one saw.
Thank God. If anyone thought I had to kill them.
Strut into the cave entrance.
Excellent.
Okay. Like I said, it's just a small passage,
Mm-hmm.
and then it opens up into a chamber. The chamber is about 30 feet in diameter, and it is filled with clutter. Just like junk, it looks like. It doesn't like smell like anything rotting or anything, but it's like pieces of furniture, wagon wheels.
How tall is the cave entrance? Or how tall is the cave where I'm standing?
About 15 feet to the ceiling. So the hallway was maybe 10, and then it opens up into this chamber. Go ahead and roll a perception check for me. Oops.
Uh-oh.
Crap.
16. Bad.
All right, that's fine.
Oh, all these bad rolls.
All right, so this is just piles of shit. It looks like an episode of Hoarders in here.
I'm gonna move closer to the wall. Is there any other exit from this place, or is it just this chamber?
Not that you can see, but it's pretty much there's piles of junk.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go to the perimeter and circle about. If there's anything against the wall, try and push it away, and I'll look for another exit from this room. I'm also gonna keep my eyes out for any bodies and my nose open for any body smells.
Okay, roll another perception check. As you're skirting the room, sometimes you can move things away from the wall, but other times you're sort of climbing on top of junk. Okay, you don't notice anything out of the ordinary.
I don't see anything. I'm blind. All right. Um.
Yeah. So you've sort of made your way around to this side of the room,
Okay.
climbing over junk and boxes
I'd like
and
to go back to the entrance
rocks. Hmm.
and look at the ground, see if those big footprints are still there.
Um, this episode is turning into perception check, perception check, perception check.
Well, it's
Uh,
searching. You know.
yeah.
Should I make one?
The ground looks well worn, as if as if a fair bit of traffic has come in and out. You can roll a perception check if you want more information. Sure.
Nope.
No, nothing more than that. I mean, it looks
Hmm.
well worn, as if something has walked back and forth over the spot.
Hmm. Hmm. All right. I am going to go back inside the cave. I want to go, like, just around the corner, like right here. And I'm just going to chill out for a little while. Let's say
Okay.
an hour or so.
All right, you're gonna have a seat or
Yeah, I'll have a seat. I'll kick my, relax against the wall. Hope my previous nap was enough rest for me not to fall asleep like this.
roll a willpower check.
No! No! God. Any modifications for actually getting some sleep earlier?
No, no.
No. 20.
One short. All right. You don't necessarily realize that you doze off, but you are startled awake by some noise, and you find yourself realizing, shit, I must have fallen asleep.
I get to my feet.
Okay. You stand up just as a large humanoid figure steps through the hallway right here, and you find yourself sort of like staring at its right side.
This is exactly what I was afraid of.
It's at least a head taller than you. Go ahead and roll. I mean, if you do,
I was going to say,
actually, let me roll a surprise check for you.
I was going to say it's been an hour. We should take a break.
Sure. Yeah.
Leave it on a cliffhanger.
Yeah. Sounds good.
All right.
After this break, we find out what the hell Qualneer stumbled into.
Yeah. All right. See you guys soon. Bye-bye.